everyone, and welcome to the candy shop. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday to everyone. I'm not on StreamYard. StreamYard was just being a little too crazy, a little too wonky. So I'm going to see if I'm able to show your comments. I'm not sure that I can with just regular YouTube Live. So I'm going to shout you out, and then I'm also going to be on the search for a new streaming platform that I can make sure that I can show your comments, but it also works. So there's not that weird delay in me speaking that I think some people didn't really like, and I didn't like it either. So welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are going to get into it. As you come into the candy shop, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Share this with a friend because we are about to get into it. Yesterday was a big thing in the world of Fallon and Simon and Portia over on Kempire Daily. Shout out to him. Link to his video is in the description box. He was talking about it, and did Jalen's mom, and again, allegedly for entertainment purposes, just our opinion, did Jalen's mom, low-key, mid-key, high-key, confirm my theory? We are going to get into it. That is the first bit we'll talk about, and then we'll go in and break down other tidbits from Fallon's interview with Tisa Tales. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful mods. Lynette, Kit, and Scott, thank you so much for being a mod. Silma Wade, if I pronounced that correctly, the beautiful Silma Wade is a mod. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss T, I want to make you a mod as well. So let me know if that worked, Miss T. You should be a moderator now too. So I hope that worked. Yes, I wanted to give a shout out to them, and thank you for everyone who's coming in. Again, put your comments down in the chat box. We are going to have a good dialogue. Put your questions, your insights, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to give a couple of shout outs, and then we're going to get right into the juiciness. So hi, Darren Hood. Hi, Natalia. Hi, my beautiful Appy News. Hi, Minerva Sagisi. Miss T, you know I love you. Sam Blanc, I want to give you a shout out. Sasha T. Yes, Sasha T is also a mod. Shout out to you, Sasha T. Haitian Ellen says, hey, everyone. Hi, reparations. Tanae Hazel, you know we love you, girl. Yes. Natalie is up in here. There's not a call-in, unfortunately, because I have to find a new service other than StreamYard, because StreamYard was just messing up too much. So now I'm literally just going live through YouTube, and through the YouTube, I don't think that they have the call-in link, and they don't have the banner, or I can't put your chat on up top, which is what you get with like the StreamYard type streaming services. So please put your comments and your questions in the chat box, and we will get everything and we will get to it. And I am on the hunt for a new streaming service so we don't get that weird delay that we've been getting. Hey, Jay Mesa. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Pamela Sanders. She says, hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. That is right. Hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, Takia Warren. Hey, can I get a witness? Yes. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay. So first thing we're gonna jump into is, did Jalen's mom, her name was Mahogany, and again, this is alleged because I don't know if they were able to confirm that it was officially Jalen's mom, or if it was someone calling in as Jalen's mom. But I think we're defaulting to that it really was Jalen's mom who called in to Kempire Daily's YouTube channel to kind of set the record straight about her son's sexuality. And I want to be really, really respectful and mindful around this conversation. One, because it is someone's mother and an elder, and I want to be respectful of her. And then secondly, you know, any conversations around someone's sexuality, whether, especially if it's speculation, I don't want to be insensitive, and I don't want to be harmful in any way. So I'm going to do my best to talk about my opinions on it in a delicate and respectful way. Okay, so Mahogany, aka Jalen's mom. And as we all know, Jalen is Fallon's best friend, assistant, and now alleged boozing, which we're all kind of side-eyeing, right? Okay, so she called in to Kempire Daily, and coincidentally, I had also called into Kempire Daily. Like, just, I was watching Kempire. Shout out to Kempire. He's linked below. I really like him. I think he's a great resource. I think he's a great blogger. I think he does a really great job. So I definitely 1,000% support Kempire Daily. Love, love, love him. So I had called in and we were chatting about my conspiracy theory that Fallon and Simon had been in on it and had been in cahoots the whole time. That really it was the two of them kind of got together and was just like, okay, we want money, we want fame, we want notoriety, we want to be able to do X, Y, and Z. What is the best way for us to get this come up? And I guess they thought the best way to get this come up was getting on the reality show, duping Portia into thinking that Simon had all of this money that he allegedly has when he actually really doesn't, allegedly, with everything that's come out. Shout out to Tisa Tales. So that was kind of like the crux of my conspiracy theory, that like Fallon's not innocent, Simon has been fronting, and the two of them got together to hatch this plan, and everything has kind of rolled out from there. And so Jalen's mom called into Kempire Daily and basically her number one purpose was to defend her son's sexuality. She was like, I see all these comments on social media. Everyone's calling him gay and they're saying these things about him. He's not gay. They're saying he looks a certain way. Like he's not. So she was really coming on there to sort of set their record straight about her son's sexuality. But within that, she said, oh, and that caller, Candy, who had that theory, well, she might be onto something. Like that might be it. Like that might be something. I'm paraphrasing, but it's linked so you guys can go and watch to see what her exact words were. I'm not saying I'm quoting her. I'm saying I'm paraphrasing what she said because I didn't remember exactly what she said. But the essence of what she was saying was, well, that girl, the caller Candy who called in, like her theory, like that might be onto something. And so I think that Jalen's mom low key is high key trying to defend her son's sexuality, and then low key also trying to defend her son's integrity, kind of being like, because we're all questioning it, right? And I think she's like, well, actually the two people who came up with this scheme was Simon and Fallon. So like, keep my son's name out your mouth because the real two culprits are them, right? So, and then after watching Fallon's interview with Tisa Tales last night, I am more convinced than ever in my conspiracy theory. I have some tweaks, but I'm more convinced than ever. Again, this is all alleged entertainment just for fun. Opinion. Okay, so the reason why I'm more convinced than ever is one, the mom low-key came out and just spilled beans. Because also on Kempire Daily Live, what she said was another caller was just like, oh, well, like, are they really in a relationship or whatever? And she was just like, oh, I don't know. Like, I know that they're friends. I know that they're really good friends. So she kind of like stumbled around the fact if they were actually in a relationship. And if this is your son that you know so well and you have such a close relationship with that you are going around calling into bloggers and YouTubers channels to set the record straight about your son's sexuality, wouldn't you know if he's actually dating Fallon? Wouldn't that just be like a hell yes? Like, of course they're together. So that to me was kind of like really, really telling that she did not just come out and say, yes, they're in this real relationship. What she said was, I know that they're really good friends. I know that they're really close. I know that they're friends, basically is what she was saying. So yeah, I don't think anybody is believing that Fallon and Jalen are in this loving romantic relationship. Absolutely not. So basically everything the mom said kind of co-signed what I was thinking, and she even kind of co-signed it herself. And then during Fallon's interview with Tisa, did you guys notice how Fallon would like light up when she was talking about her alleged celebrity bae that she was dating after Simon, like she would get giddy, she would kind of laugh, like she really just like lit up when she was talking about the like celebrity rapper or athlete, whoever I'm guessing in that world is that she was with. Whenever she referred to Jalen, it was almost like she was like, I have 2 assistants, and like, of course, I only have like 2 friends, and yeah, it's Jalen. Like, he's ridiculous if he thinks that I'm cheating with him. It was so clear in the way, in her subconscious mannerisms, that she is not at all sexually attracted or involved with Jalen. I actually think she still is pining away for this celebrity boo thing that she was rumored to be with, and she probably is actually still low-key smashing him or is with him, but just not publicly doing it. That's the vibe I got. She's still with this celebrity guy who is sort of like, I don't want any of this mess. I don't want any drama. Don't bring my name into this. Like, we can keep doing our thing on the low, but like, don't bring me into this Bravo YouTube street mess, basically. He's basically like, I have too much to lose. Unlike Simon, who literally has nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I think that Fallon is still with him. Just given the way when she talked about him, she lit up, she was excited, she was giddy. And it wasn't in a way where she was like, this is a guy that I'm broken up with. It was like, they were still with that lovey-doveyness. And anytime Jalen came up, it was like, yeah, Jalen's my friend. And she even said, well, I have 2 assistants. So she's still referring to him as her assistant, right? So it's telling. And I also think the reason why, so now the part about my conspiracy theory that I'm tweaking, but the essence of it is still there. The part that I'm tweaking is, I think the reason why Fallon and Jalen went public this weekend is twofold. One is, of course, the first one, because Fallon and Simon had this pact or this scheme to sort of get this come up by any means necessary. It may or may, I think that their original scheme, probably they didn't mean for it to blow up in such a negative way. I think that they were just scheming to get on the show, to get the come up, either get on the show and then divorce on the show. A lot of couples do that. They already are not living separate lives, but they come on the show as a united front just to have the drama. And then they go on the show to divorce and to fight and to whatever. A lot of couples do that. So maybe it was something like they were already done with each other, but they're like, how can we get this bag? How can we get this come up? And then maybe they targeted Portia, or maybe Portia was just collateral damage with how everything rolled out. So that's kind of how I feel. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, to be native. She goes, celebrity boo and keep me out of this mess. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for the super chat, to be. I wish I could put everybody's comments up here, but again, I'm going to get a new streaming platform where I can be clear and in focus and also show you guys love. So thank you so much, to be. And that's right. If you're here, if you're having fun, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and support if you want to. But thank you for being here. I love you guys. Okay. So that's right. So where were we? That's right. So that was like the cusp of the conspiracy. It was just literally the 2 of them being like, we're going to get this come up by any means necessary. I think the second, and then once the mainstream media started picking up the story that Simon is actually, a fraud. He doesn't have this money. Allegedly, his businesses are a sham. Allegedly, right? Since the 2 of them have this pact together, a mutually, what is it called? Like a mutually assured destruction. So it's like, if he goes down, she goes down, because it's like, if he goes down, he's going to expose her. And if she goes down, she's going to expose him. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I think that in a little bit, based on what Fallon said last night. I think it's mutually assured destruction. And that's why they're doing this pretend fake beef, but behind the scenes, and when you really squint at it, they're actually really not going at each other like that. I think that they're actually protecting each other. So that's why she comes out with like, oh, Jalen and I are together now. And that's why she did this, media tour this weekend that nobody asked for. Like she said in the interview with Tisa, oh, I just want to set the record straight. Everyone's been talking. But truth be told, and no tea, no shade, Fallon, nobody was really talking about you after that Up and Adam interview. Like you did your Up and Adam interview, and then we were kind of like, oh, okay. what people were then talking about was just Simon and Portia. Like, that kept going. So you, Fallon, only came back into the spotlight when you said that you were with Jalen. And that's why we're still talking about you. So your reasoning for going on this meteor tour now does not add up. Okay, then the second reason why I think that they came out with Jalen and Fallon might be because, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to say hypothetically speaking, because I want to be very, very respectful and cautious when I refer to what I think someone's mother or family or sexuality, okay? So I'm just going to say hypothetical. I'm not talking about Jalen. I'm not talking about his mom. I'm just saying hypothetically, okay? Because I just want to be very, very respectful of people. But hypothetically, if I was a mother and I had a son who may be a part of the LGBTQ community, but members of like my family or my social circle or my church group or whatever it may be, may not be understanding of that, may not be accepting of that. And all I want to do as a mother is protect my child. That child may also want to protect their mother and their family members and themselves if they've grown up in an environment with who they are isn't accepted, whether it's not accepted culturally, whether it's not accepted by their religion, whether it's not just accepted by the ideals of a particular family. Because what it really seemed like to me with the mom, hypothetically, just a mom who would come onto people's platforms and try to defend her son's sexuality, to me, that is indicative of an environment that being a part of the LGBTQIA community is not acceptable, is not okay, is looked on as a sin or as bad or as whatever, or as, what all the other very hateful and untrue things that people say about the people of the LGBTQIA community. To me, it's more about having shame around it and trying to sort of save face or reputation or things like that. So to me, it seems like if I was someone who grew up in that environment, I may not feel safe being honest about who I am if that's the environment I grew up in. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm then put in a position where I am publicly and in social media being called gay or other words or a part of the LGBTQI community, I might have my really good friend say, no, he's not, because we're together. I think that Jalen and Fallon protect each other. I think that they're really good best friends. And I think that Jalen keeps her secrets, and I think that she keeps his. And I think it's just a really, really beautiful friendship where they are trying to protect each other. The same way I think that allegedly, hypothetically, if a mother would call in on behalf of her son to defend her son's sexuality, you would only think that you needed to defend it if you thought that something was wrong with it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying she does. I want to be very, very clear and very, very respectful. Hypothetically, only in my opinion, hypothetically, I would think that if a mother felt the need to defend her son's sexuality, the root cause of that is because you don't agree with it, or you want to protect him from people in your life and in his life that don't agree with it, and you think on some level that there's something wrong with it. You still love your son. You still care about your son. You still want to protect him. You want him to be okay. But it's indicative to me of the mindset that person lives in. So that's kind of where I think the whole Jalen Fallon thing came from. One, I think it's that, Fallon and Simon, mutually assured destruction. So she's coming out to deflect from his whole emperor has no clothes fraud coming down. And then also I think a part of it is, well, let me protect my friend that I got into this mess. People are coming at him about his sexuality. People are coming at him about X, Y, and Z. People are calling me his good Judy. Let me just save face and help my friend. Because I'm actually knocking boots and kicking it with my celebrity guy who I can't publicly claim anyway. Right? So that's kind of what I was thinking and what was going on with that. Okay, the other thing was, let's see. Oh, another big revelation, and let me know what you guys think about this, right? Fallon isn't wealthy. Didn't Simon and Fallon both try to front like she had her own wealth and that she did like philanthropy and that she did, she had like oil money too? See, this big oil money lie, right? This big oil money lie. Fallon has oil or tech or like a tech, something like that, right? Something about like tech or whatever it was. But Fallon had her own money. But last night, she made it clear that she didn't have any money. That was a big one, because if you remember when Tisa was just talking about like what did she do after she had to vacate the house, and she was just like, oh well, my credit was so low, my credit was so messed up that she couldn't get approved anywhere. Well, the thing about credit is that if you have enough money, credit doesn't matter. When you can just pay in cash, we can just put down the card. Credit does not matter. You can get a place or buy a place or whatever when you have that upfront money cash flow. So that to me says two things. One, she has bad credit. And two, she doesn't have any money. Money trumps credit. And what she said was that Simon had to rent out a condo or an apartment for her that he paid up front for a year. And then she was also stuck there because she said she didn't have her money coming in. She didn't have her money yet, which was like allegedly just like $50K installments from Simon, and then like a partial percentage from the selling of one of the homes that they had together. So if she didn't have enough money to get an apartment on her own and her credit wasn't good enough, then they're caught in another bold-faced lie, because both of them came out and made it as if Fallon already had her money. She was already set up. She already had her money in tech or oil or something. And then now she was just like this philanthropist artist. But apparently not. And this was what she said. So that was one really big revelation and really huge lie that we discovered. Another one was, another big lie was, and shout out to my girl Tisa Tells, who did a great job. Fallon looked like she didn't want to be there. She threw low-key shots at Tisa, some low-key shade. Did you guys catch it? She was throwing some shade, but it was like whatever. But another big lie she was caught in was, did you guys catch it when Tisa was like, oh, so you and Simon used to travel, you guys went to Costa Rica or whatever. She goes, was that your property? Was it a rental property? Like, what was it? And Fallon was like, oh, no, it was a property that we were looking at to see if we wanted to buy it, and then we would rent it out to other people. And Tisa was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, well, Simon was also like recently, like with Porsche and everything, talking about some Costa Rica property. Like, is that the same property? Is that the property you guys were at? And Fallon was like, oh, no, I've never seen that. I've never seen that property. And then Tisa was like, oh, you haven't? Well, on Instagram, they had blah, 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 blah. And like, there was like a hedge and da-da-da-da. She's like, and my sources say that like, that was the same property you stayed at, right? And then literally Fallon goes, oh yeah, it was the same property. What? Like, what was the purpose of that lie? I don't know if she just like didn't understand the question at first, or if it was a purposeful lie, but it was still a lie. And it would literally happen like back to back. And it was just like, girl, you were, and I think the reason why she lied was because clearly they weren't at that property looking to buy it, because the property itself is a rental property. It's not a property that is up for sale. Literally, people already own it, and those are the people that rent it out. So you saying that you and Simon went to that property to see if you wanted to buy it in order to rent it literally makes no sense. Maybe that's why she lied about it, right? That's like saying I'm going to this Airbnb to see if I want to buy this Airbnb to do Airbnb out of this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, no, boo-boo. Like, you're in the Airbnb. Somebody is already Airbnb-ing it. Like this, it's like the property is not up for sale. It is a rental property. So you guys, basically what you really want to say is, no, we don't own it. We rented it for X amount a week or a day or whatever. You weren't looking at it to buy. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. So that was another big lie that she was caught in. And she was caught in another big lie. Okay, but this lie, I don't know if she was lying because she wanted to have some sort of continuity with the show or with the producers or what. But another big lie she was caught in was how she met Portia. Do you guys remember when she went on Speak On It with Candy? And she said that she met Portia through Simon and Dennis, because Simon and Dennis were friends, and Simon and Dennis introduced Portia and Fallon together, and that they would go out to dinner, they would go out to the club, and they would hang out, and they were sort of like couple friends that way. And then that was how Fallon was introduced on the show as a friend of Portia. So that was the story of how they met. And she said that on Speak On It with Candy. Last night on her interview with Tisa, she said the first time she met Portia was during filming, when Portia showed up at her front door for the pool party scene. And then they did the pool party scene. And then afterward, Portia stayed and tried on her clothes and took her like J-Lux or something like that clothes out, or sorry, you guys, or whatever the case may be. So last night, she's saying the very first time she ever met Portia was during filming, when she showed up at the pool. On Speak On It with Candy, she said that her and Portia were cool. They would kiki with the men, and that's how they all met. And then that's how she was introduced on the show. And then also last night, she said that the producers asked her, who do you think the best person to introduce you on the show would be? Who would be the best person to be a friend of? And she was like, oh, I regret this. I can't believe I said it, but it'll be Portia. So which is it, right? Were Dennis and Simon friends, and that's how you met Portia? Just being out and doing the most and all that? Or was it really just this big production thing where you had no idea who Portia was? You had watched a couple of episodes and all this stuff. So which is it? Oh, hey, Sumaya Singh. Thank you so much for the super chat. So Sumaya Singh says, remember when you have to remember the truth when things don't add up? It's a lie. The meeting story with Tisa was also a lie. Shake my head. Yeah, thank you so much for that super chat, by the way. That's right, you guys. If you were in here, if you're having a good kiki, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And you can support the channel any way you want. You can support through a super chat, a like, a share, a view, a cash app, whatever you want. I am just thankful that you are here, and I hope you are having a good fun and a good kiki. So I'm going to go through a little bit more of the key points, and then I'm going to read your comments, and we'll have a good kiki about this. But you are so right, Sumaya. You don't have to remember the truth, because the truth is the truth. So, like, which is it, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it was this whole storyline of Dennis and Simon being friends, business people. Maybe that was a lie too, since allegedly he doesn't have a business. He has a room that he rents with a printer in it. Whatever. Okay, so that was another big lie that she was caught in. So let me see some other things that I thought was, oh. This was juicy. Did you guys catch when when Fallon said it was a job and I didn't like it, referring to being in her marriage and having to like front and pretend around other couples, around other wealthy people that they were trying to hobnob with, around other just, you know, people in general. And she said it was a job and I didn't like it. And then she had this really like telling look on her face. And that coupled with, so follow me with this, right? Follow me with this. So she's referring to her being in her marriage and being and acting as if to be the wife of Simon as a job. She referred to it as a job. Okay. Do you guys also remember the story? Oh, this is what Sumai was referring to. Yes, 100%. Do you also remember the when last night when Fallon said the story of how her and Simon met? I call bullshit BS on that story all day long. Didn't track, did not make sense. Girl, you lying. Why? Okay, allegedly my opinion for entertainment purposes. Here we go. So she says, we had like a mutual friend and my friend was like, oh girl, Simon is just like you. Like, you know, you're just like him. You guys are going to get along. You're going to get along. You're going to get along. Like, I want to like set you guys up. It was like some mutual friend thing. She had been in Atlanta, but then she had went back to LA, which is where she was saying she was living at the time. And so but then she had plans to go to Miami to visit her sister. And so he was like, oh, well, let me just go to Miami. I'll meet you there. They allegedly had some like super long like lunch or whatever it was over, you know, cafe leche, and just talked. And then they were inseparable ever since. Girl, bye. Miss me with that story. What it sounds like more so. Okay, how can I say? Okay. This is the conundrum. I don't want to be messy in a way that is demeaning to another woman's integrity or to another woman that way. Like, yes, we're having a good kiki. Yes, we're dissecting what she said. But what I took away from that, okay, I'm going to try and say this in the most respectful way because, again, I don't want to be demeaning to a woman. But hypothetically, this is how we're going to do it, you guys. Hypothetically, I'm not actually talking about Fallon. I want to be very clear. Hypothetically, if someone told me that it was a job being someone's wife and she hated it and she felt, you know, almost like it was like this front job. And then she told me this very bogus sounding story about some random mutual friend who wasn't really clear even who it was. She didn't have a name, any of that. And they were just like, oh, you guys are the same person. You'll get along. And he flew and did all this stuff. In the context of knowing that the husband is like this fraudster person, in the context of knowing that the wife also kind of was fronting about her financial status and everything else. And also knowing that the husband does have a penchant for girls in the strip club, you know, things like that. Hypothetically, I would think that the girl may have been, I don't want to say an escort, but something along those lines. Or it was maybe that mutual person was maybe like a matchmaker or a dating site or an escort service or I don't want to say like a strip club or something like that, but something it just seems really, it seems like when you met your person on Bumble, but you don't want to tell people you met at Bumble and you say, oh my God, we met at our favorite coffee shop. Like, it seemed like that. And it also seemed like when on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when Crystal was like, oh yeah, you know, I was the receptionist at an escorts agency. Girl, you were the receptionist at an escort agency, and a year later you got married. Okay, we believe you, Crystal. You were just the receptionist. You know what I mean? It gives me those vibes. But again, hypothetical, because I'm not coming out here trying to call any woman an escort or a part of some service that maybe matches men with beautiful young women, you know, men who say they have money and they want sort of like arm candy, sugar baby, sugar daddy, what is it called? Sugar baby, sugar daddy situation. But to me, that's what it smelled like. But again, hypothetical, because I'm not trying to put that on no woman's name. If she's not saying it, I'm not saying it about her. I'm just saying hypothetically, if I heard this story, that is what I would think. Okay. So, and then tied back to her saying it was a job. To me, what it sounds like when it comes to Simon and Fallon is this. Fallon is a very beautiful, beautiful girl. Interesting and cool, fun. Simon clearly has an agenda of wanting to, based on his ego and insecurity, wants to be revered as wealthy, businessman, all of these things. And I think that Fallon fit into that narrative. And clearly he had been fronting his wealth a lot, right? So they sort of got into this arrangement. And her contract basically came up. And that's why she referred to it as a job. And I think once her contract came up, they got together and was just like, okay, we're not checking for each other anymore. Clearly, because Fallon was just like, well, at that point, I already had my new celebrity boo thing. I wasn't really caring about what Simon was doing. I think they got together and they came up with some type of scheme when it came to reality TV with Housewives of Atlanta. Portia may or may not have been the initial part of that scheme, but somewhere along the way, they were able to dupe Portia into being part of this. Because I don't think Portia is a part of the original scheme. I actually think Portia is just a girl who thought, well, I'm going to use my body and my looks to grab a man, and I don't give a damn who I hurt. I don't care if he's married. I don't care whatever. I'm Portia. I can do whatever I want. And I think that Portia thought in her mind she was getting over on another woman and that she was, you know, stealing this wealthy Nigerian man from this other woman. Because I also think in Portia's mind, and again, this is alleged and just what I get from what she says and does, I think Portia is the type of girl that feels better about herself when she thinks that she is doing better than another woman, or she's chosen over another woman, or you know what I mean? It's weird and it's bizarre. Like I think something about her thinking that she got this man from this other beautiful woman kind of fed her some way, served her ego some way, right? So I think that's what happened. And I think that's why it is mutually assured destruction between Simon and Fallon, because they were both in on the initial scheme. I think the people at Bravo, they don't always get it right, but I think they kind of figured that out too. And I think that's why Bravo is not messing with this whole Portia, Simon, Fallon thing on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm very curious. I don't actually want to watch, but I'm very curious as to see how they are going to spin and play this out on Portia's spinoff, which initially was supposed to be about her Black Lives Matter movement, but clearly she hasn't done anything for BLM or Protect Black Women at all. And now her whole spinoff is just about her and Simon jet setting in Cancun or wherever the hell they're going, right? So I think they kind of got wind of that. And that's why they were like, not on Roa. For whatever reason, because they don't mind getting into the gutter with Roa at other times, but that's just is what it is. And another reason why I think that Simon and Fallon are in this together, and it's mutually assured destruction, and that's why they strategically protect each other. They front like they're not The whole receipts of a cheating wife made no sense. You know, Fallon now coming out doing press releases because everyone's looking into his business. Like, come on, girl. Did you guys catch when Fallon said that Simon did the divorce statement earlier than they were gonna release it jointly, right? But then he preemptively released it, and then she released her divorce statement, and then as a response to that, or she did some post to the response to Portia and Simon's engagement, right? That Simon was then what do you call it? Simon was then calling her and her friends and her family, and she was calling anyone who would listen, saying, oh, she better not say anything. She better keep her mouth shut, because if she doesn't, like, I don't know what Portia is going to do. Like, I don't know what Portia's going to do. I'm going to release some video of her and Jalen, blah, 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 blah. Tisa said that she thought it was a threat. I didn't take it as a threat. I took it as a warning in the sense of, girl, I'm trying to give you a heads up. Portia is freaking crazy. I don't know what she's going to say or do. I don't want us to get exposed for what we've been doing. Keep your mouth shut so we can keep this game going on. Because if you think about it, Fallon was really quiet. She didn't really say anything. And Fallon hasn't really ever said anything super bad about Portia. She'll make some light shade, like, oh, I don't think about people on lower frequency than me, and blah, 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 blah. But her core message has been, well, it's not my place to be upset about him and Portia, and blah, 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 blah. And I think she hasn't gone in on Portia for two reasons. One, she doesn't really care. She doesn't give a damn who Simon's with. She's happy with her celebrity boo. Her and Simon came together with the scheme. She's getting her into the bargain. She doesn't really care. And two, I think Simon has warned her, because look at Portia's pattern of behavior. Portia is also a known, documented, flat out liar. She will make something up the clear blue sky just to hate you on Mad Day. And don't forget what she did with Phaedra against Candy. So Portia has no problem making up lies that could potentially destroy someone's life. Clearly has no problem doing that. So what I took her saying that as, Simon was trying to say to her, girl, make sure you don't say anything. I can't control what Portia says or does. Like, yeah, we came up with the scheme, but the scheme is kind of like out of control at this point. They can no longer control the scheme, is what I'm saying. The scheme got out of hand. It's like if you and your ride or die decided to rob a bank, and that was the original scheme, but then when you got into the bank, it was like another robber there trying to rob the bank. The sheriff happened to be there. There was a pregnant woman having a baby. Like, you know what I mean? It was sort of just like a comedy of errors happens. So your original, yes, the two of you had this original scheme, but now the scheme is out of your hands and it's just like all loose. That is how I actually took that. That Simon was just like, listen, be careful, because Portia is a wild card. And I don't know what she has up her sleeve, right? That's sort of how I took it. And then also it's just like, don't say anything. Well, what is there to say? Like, what are you hiding? You know, like, what are you hiding? And then another thing that I thought was weird was how Fallon is now saying that Portia had slept with Simon's cousin to get the Rolls Royce and a Birkin, and she was throwing shade at like, oh, that old car, I don't know what year it was, and all this stuff. But has it been confirmed that guy is actually Simon's cousin, or is this another red herring thing or whatever? Because if it comes out that man is not Simon's cousin, and I don't think he is, all Nigerians are not related, guys, then that is another clearly bold-faced, contrived lie. Because that was a rumor from before. And now Fallon is coming out and trying to co-sign it and say that's the truth. If it comes out that man is not his cousin, that is a very bold-faced, contrived lie. And I think it already came out that they're not related. I think that man was probably like, Simon who? I don't know Simon. Right? So let's see what else. Okay, one thing that I wish Tisa would have asked her was, are you pregnant? Did anybody else? Okay, I'm on the fence with this, right? A part of me thinks, no, she's not pregnant. But then another part of me was like, why are you wearing this hoodie zipped up all the way to here? And I know you're not in a hot place. I mean, in a cold place. So, and then the photos I think Fallon are posting on Instagram, you can't really see anything that much below here. So I'm kind of like, are you pregnant? Are you not pregnant? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a weird choice to wear. But then again, my gut says she's not pregnant. Her face didn't look pregnant. But then again, she's a very thin woman in general. So I don't know. And then Fallon also did a lot of dodging questions. She really dodged the timeline question. She really dodged talking about Portia. Let's see what else. She never once actually said her and Jalen were in a relationship. She only referred to Jalen as assistant and friend. She never actually referred to him as a boyfriend or anything like that in this interview. I don't believe. If I'm wrong, let me know. But from what I saw, she only lit up when she was talking about the celebrity guy. She had disdain when she talked about Simon, but she was very neutral when she talked about Jalen. So, okay. And then last thing, and then I'm going to read some of the comments, guys. Who else thought it was bizarre and weird, her whole therapy story? Like, girl, you should have got this story way more together. So she says that, she's always like, oh, I'm so spiritual and I want to just be in touch with everything. And like, yes, I love therapy and doing inner child work and blah, 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 blah. But then she says, oh, but I didn't want to go to therapy this time with Simon. And I told him that if we go to therapy this time, what's going to happen is that I'm going to end up leaving. What? Like, I'm so confused. Like, which is it? It's like, are you an advocate for therapy and you think it's good? But then but when you're having problems with your now husband, because she said that before they got married, they did couples therapy. And then they got married and then they needed couples therapy again. Why did you have such a resistance going into therapy if you believe in therapy and if you're having trouble with your husband? Wouldn't you want to be in couples therapy and try and work it out? And then another thing that was really weird to me was that she said that Simon was willing to FaceTime with the therapist for couples therapy, but he wasn't calling to check in on his children. I'm calling bullshit on this. I just don't see a man who has Simon Gubadia tendencies, personality, everything we know about him, taking the time out of frolicking from where did he go? He was in Miami and Costa Rica, and he was, allegedly on Valentine's Day, he woke up and said he needed space and packed his whole bag and left for 2 months. I don't see a man who is unwilling to live in his own home with his own children, find the time while he is out there using up his whole bag miles, taking the time to FaceTime in with the therapist and Fallon, but yet he could not find the time to actually physically go home or check on his own children. It would have been more believable if she said he left for the 2 months, but he would call in and check in on his children to see how they were doing, but he stopped going to therapy. Because it does not make logical sense. If someone is so checked out of their marriage, so completely done, that he is willing to wake up on Valentine's Day, pack a few bags, and leave the house, not telling you when he's coming back, not telling you where he's going, not telling you who he is with. and for 2 months does not have the time to check in on he may be a lot of things, but even narcissistic, but there's always that father is going to check in on their kids. Mother is going to check on their kids before they're FaceTiming a therapist about a marriage that they literally just walked out on. That did not track, made no sense. Even if I think about myself, if I am in a marriage and I am so done with this marriage that I decide to wake up on a very special day, whether it's Valentine's Day, Christmas, or anniversary, his birthday, and I'm packing my bag and I'm getting the hell out of Dodge, I'm not taking the time out of my day to FaceTime with a therapist for couples therapy because there's no point. I'm already checked out. I'm physically gone. Doesn't make any sense. That's why this whole timeline, couples therapy, that whole story made no sense. It would have made way more sense if Fallon said, we were in a really bad place. I believe in love and light. I believe in therapy. I believe in that stuff. I was just like, Simon, we need to get back into therapy. I was so excited that he was willing to go into therapy with me. I thought things were going good. We were going to the therapist. We're working through things. Yes, really weird things came up. He didn't know my favorite color. He didn't know anything about me, blah, 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 all that other stuff she said. So then I was blindsided when he decided to get up and walk out. And then he stopped going to couples therapy with me or whatever it was. That just makes more sense. The story that she told made no sense. A man is gone. A father, a husband is gone for 2 months. Doesn't even check in on his kids. But yet he's FaceTiming with the couple's therapist. Girl, bye. I don't believe it. I simply do not believe it. And I know you guys are saying that narcissists do not follow logic. Another person is saying he's a narc. He's gonna do all that. I don't see it. And I know that, and I think you guys are right. Narcissists, you're right. They don't follow logic, right? I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't sit well. I think he would have used therapy as like a different type of bargaining chip or something. But I also still really do think that they are in cahoots with this. I think they came up with the scheme, and the scheme got bigger than what they thought it was going to be, and now the scheme is out of their hands. And now they're just trying to grasp at straws to get back control over the scheme. That's what I think happened. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Oh, I wish I could show your names, guys. I'm going to find a good streaming platform where that actually works and I can show your names. Okay, so let's just see. Rain 1 says it's mind games and lingering you on until the new supply is secured. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that. It definitely could be mind games. Rain 1 says, believe me, I know. Oh, damn, mind game. Oh, Rain, oh, no. Okay, so Andrea at Tuhani says, okay, they're going really fast. Okay, Entrepreneur Life of Ebony Yvonne says, she also said on Fox Soul that she was seeing the celebrity in March and the marriage was over, so why not? Oh, your chats are going so fast. Okay. Let's see here. Michelle Williams says, I agree. Miss T says, it didn't make sense. Fallon didn't call a locksmith for the door. She got people to make her feel safe instead. Okay, yes, Miss T, this is a really, really good observation. She was saying like, oh, like she had family and her uncle and her friends to come over to help her when the door didn't lock and they thought that people were going to come in and break in, and that was the whole thing. You're right. Why didn't she call the police, and why didn't she call a locksmith to fix the lock to make sure everything was safe and secure? That is a really, really good point. Hey, Jen Marie. She goes, I agree, but I know men who will be best friends with men who are deadbeats but mad with their own father for walking out of their lives. That older daughter is absent from Simon for a reason. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can't put the chat in slow mode, but it's okay. You guys can talk and we'll do slow mode next time. Thank you so much, Sasa T, for that suggestion. Yeah, Jen Marie, you're right. You are right. Men will be best friends with men who are deadbeats. That is 100% spot on. And you're right, the older daughter doesn't mess with him for a reason. And I don't think the older son does that much either, from what it sounded like maybe like pretend, but because he continuously walked out on his family. He would meet a woman, marry her, pop out kids, meet the next woman, cheat on the first one, pop out kids. It's just this whole thing. Oh, Jen Marie, you're welcome, sweetheart. Abundantly Cindy says, Fallon's stories were weird. I was like, why not call the police or locksmith? Exactly. Why not call the police or a locksmith? Like, it does not make any sense. And again, it just goes to the fact that, and even when she was talking about that, her mannerisms when it came to Jalen was just like, that's my friend. This is, you know what I mean? Like, they're not smashing. They're not. Hey, Andrea Atahuna, she goes, she is not a responsible woman. That is why. Ooh, Fallon. Mo Walker says, call the repair company. That's what grown people do. Exactly. Renee says that part. Thank you. Rain1 says, yes. Michelle Williams says, I think she's dating the celebrity and is using Jalen. I agree. 100%. I think that they are, again, I want to be very respectful. So hypothetically, I think that two people in that situation are being beards for each other. The woman in the situation is dating this celebrity who is not going to claim her publicly. And the guy friend in this situation might have, friends or family or society who may not be accepting of their sexuality. And they are using their friend as a beard in order to kind of get the heat off of them. Okay, let's see. Hey, Brady Beauty Lockout. She takes too many edibles before interviews. She was side-eyeing the hell out of Tisa. Did you guys notice that? She did not want to be there, and she kept being like, okay. And then at the very end, she was just like, yeah, I'm not the type of person that's going to like look at a photo and be like, oh, look at that thing in the corner, or look at this. She's just like, I don't really care. I don't have time. That was a straight shot at Tisa. That was shots fired. Hey, Selma. So Selma leads, or Selma. Hey, Selma. I want to know more about the guys that were at the gate. Yeah, me too. Immediately, Cindy says, at stream is saying Fallon didn't have any money, apparently. No, Fallon didn't have any money. She came out and said that her credit was jacked. She couldn't get her own place. And she didn't have any money yet, like, I guess from like this settlement or scheme from her and Simon. And so she was basically at his mercy, and he got her some apartment or condo for a year, but she ended up leaving that after whatever check came through. But yeah, Fallon does not have money like that. And I thought she did. I fell for the okie doke. I thought she had money too. Hey, Radies Beauty Lockout. Her interview with Foxhole was terrible. I didn't even see it. I just saw the recaps, not gonna lie. Hey, Sam Blank. He goes, at Renee, they always think they're the exceptions. Yep. Hey, Abundantly Cindy. She goes, I agree with the beard situation. The chemistry and body language is weird. Exactly. Hey, Young Rich. She goes, Jalen don't get hard for her, so she's allegedly pregnant, which I don't believe. He is certainly not a father. Yeah, I'm on the fence about the pregnancy thing. I think that might be fake news too. You're definitely right. Thank you so much, Sasha T. That's right, you guys. Like this video, subscribe. We have almost 160 in the chat. Only 83 likes. Let's get those likes up. Don't Fallon me. Don't Simon me. Don't Portia me. Love me. Let's get those likes up. I love you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Michelle Williams says, how's she worth $2 million with bad credit? Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. That's right. Okay. So another thing that they covered, right, was how allegedly it is Simon who is creating these profiles and bios saying that he is, this wealthy businessman. He has all these businesses, what his net worth is. Apparently, you can hire companies to do this for you. You basically hire someone to set up Wikipedia pages and Google searches and all of this stuff. So you could literally make this up yourself. You could be like, oh, I'm worth $100 million and I'm the CEO of Candy Cane Enterprises or whatever it is. And then you get people who will place those on websites and on Google. So then it comes up on the Google search. So if you do like blah, blah, blah net worth, they've basically created all of those sites. So I don't believe anyone who's allegedly worth, I guess the comment said, and thank you for making that comment because you reminded me of it, that someone is allegedly worth $2 million. Bad credit or good credit, money trumps credit. You actually only need credit when you don't have enough money to cover what you want to buy. And your credit is good, meaning that you're good for the money, versus your credit is bad, meaning you're at risk of not being able to repay that money. So if you have $2 million in the bank, you don't need credit because you should theoretically be able to just pay for it. You see what I'm saying? You should just be able to pay for it. So if you have $2 million, you don't need your ex to front this apartment for you if you have your own money like that. You don't need him to float you. So and again, last night, Fallon did confirm that he hired a publicist and he was the one who was placing these stories and fake news all out there. So, yeah. Hey, Joanne. She goes, I love you, Candy. I love you too. Beautiful. Hey, Cherry. She goes, someone in Fallon's new neighborhood saw her walking and she was big belly pregnant. See, why was she wearing the hoodie? Why was she wearing the hoodie? Ding, ding, ding. Hey, Sam Blank. She goes, same thing the Avatar was doing. 100%. Hey, Sumai Singh. She goes, my friend's wife has a company who does that, and the name will have the most hits too. Exactly. Like you can put stuff out for yourself. Hey, can I get a witness? She goes, wow. Abundantly Cindy says, at Cherry. Yeah, I heard about that. We'll see if it's true. Sharice Brown says there's a difference of what you're worth versus what you have in cash. Yeah, that is very true. You can there's a difference between what is liquid, like what you have, versus what your worth is. Like you could have properties and all of this stuff. But if you're putting out there that even if you just have a net worth of $2 million, but you can't get an apartment, it doesn't make any sense. There's still just a disconnect there for me. Hi, Ivy Girl 06. She was Michelle ATLian said from a reliable source of hers, Fallon is very pregnant and now living in the same neighborhood as Nene and Portia neighbors, seeing her walking the dog. Do we think it's the celebrity guy that knocked her up? Because I don't think it was Simon, and I sure hell wasn't Jalen. It might be the celebrity guy. Because the only reason why I'm buying into this pregnancy thing is that she was wearing that hoodie. Just seeing her with it zipped up all the way up to here, I thought it just gave bells going off. And now that you guys are saying Michelle ATLian is saying that, she is a reliable source. She always has the juice. Who knows? Hey, Joanne, doesn't Fallon own an oil company? No. What? What oil company? What is the name of the company? What's the name of the company? What is it? What's the name of the company? And if you own an oil company, how come you can't get an apartment on your own? Right? And she even said last night out of her own mouth, one reason why she thought things went south with her and Simon was that she had started to have her own identity and her own money and started to work and all this stuff. And I guess she was referring to the Real Housewives. I don't know any other job that she's had or whatever. And that he kind of got jealous of that. But prior to that, they were saying that she already had her own money and she came to the marriage with money. So which is it? Did you already have this oil company and you already had this money? Or did you not have any of that stuff? And then you got with Simon and then you started to get the come up with the Real Housewives and everything else and the scheme you guys put together. And then he got jealous. It's just not adding up. It's not making sense. If I was worth $2 million with my own oil company, there is no way in hell I wouldn't be able to just go out there and get an apartment or at least some sort of rental on my own. Like you could even just Airbnb for a month or two if you were in that dire straits. You don't have any money, you can't even do that. You see what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a good enough credit to get a lease, couldn't you just Airbnb a condo for a couple months, or Airbnb a really nice apartment, or even a house? Like nowadays, there are so many options. So even if you don't have the credit to lease an apartment, you should at least have the money to get accommodations. But she made it very clear last night she didn't have the credit or the money to do either. And with her calling her marriage a job, and with the fishy way she said she met Simon, to me, this all sounds like an arrangement, a contract, mutually beneficial deal. That is really just what it sounds like. And then her and Simon came up with some scheme. The scheme is now out of their control, as we can all see, and they're all spiraling. She found her celebrity person. And again, I think that she just wants to be with a celebrity person. She may or may not be pregnant. I think she actually really did want to separate herself from Simon and Portia because she doesn't give a damn about either of them, because she's actually with the celebrity that she likes. But since it would destroy her reputation if it actually came out that her and Simon had the scheme the whole time, it would also destroy Simon. That's why it's mutually assured destruction. Like, I'm just talking about a conspiracy theory that I have. We're kikiing, yada, yada, yada. But if it actually came out in reality of the world that this whole thing was because Simon and Fallon had hatched this scheme, this get rich, get famous scheme, that would destroy both of them. Because it's one thing to be bad press, bad news, salacious, yada, 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 for like your wild and wacky and actions. It's another thing to have intentionally created this. It's two different things. And I think that Fallon is trying to protect her relationship with her celebrity. She's trying to protect her skincare line. She said she wants to be an actress now, and she wants to go into public speaking. You know, that's like probably like public speaking, hosting. She's trying to protect that lane. And I think that's why now she came out with this bogus story about being with Jalen, because she's doing everything she can for the actual truth to come out. And I also think that Simon low-key has been protecting Fallon too because of it. Like with the fake receipts, calling her friends and anyone who will listen at her camp, being like, listen, tell her to watch out. I don't know what Portia's going to say. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because I don't know what Portia's going to do. Last I say, let's get the likes up. This video should have at least 170 likes by now. At least. Let's get those likes up. If you guys are having a good kiki, like, subscribe, and share. Okay, let's see what my beautiful, beautiful candy canes are saying in the chat box. Let's see. Okay. Pinky in the Brain 3 says, she said she was having more kids last night, never denying she is not pregnant. Lord help. That is very true, because she actually said, I will. Like, I will have more kids. So you're right, Pinky in the Brain. Maybe she low-key was letting us know what the deal was. Joanne says, Candy, that's what you said in the beginning. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just a gut feeling that I have. I just do not believe that all of this happened randomly. I don't believe it. I don't. I simply do not believe that this is a random scandal that just randomly happened. I don't believe, like, I'll get to your comment, to your comments, but do you guys remember Fallon girl? You should have called me. I'm not a good liar, but I would have helped you come up with but I am a writer. So I would have helped you come up with some believable stories, because the story you tried to spin last night to me was absolute garbage. Do you guys remember that she said she got scouted for the Real Housewives of Atlanta? She said that she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just laughing. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I just tickled myself. She goes, oh, It was the pandemic. And I was just on Insta stories a lot. And I was just, talking to women about their pain and what these women and my philanthropy. And I was just at Insta stories a lot. And I think that's how they found me. And nobody's believing that, Fallon. Nobody in their right mind is believing that Bravo found you because you were doing Instagram stories about philanthropy. And then you went to Simon and said, oh my God, these producers from Bravo found me on Instagram to do The Real Housewives. Do you know what that show is all about? And that she had never seen the show. Calling straight bullshit. I don't think that's how you got on the show, Fallon. I don't think that you were doing Instagram stories about philanthropy and the powers at B at Bravo happened to stumble upon your Instagram stories. You had no idea what The Real Housewives of Atlanta about. At least you were honest, though, that Simon was a fan of the show. At least you were honest about that. Because I do believe that Simon had seen every episode. Simon knew all of the players, and he knew exactly how the show worked. But I also believe, Fallon, so did you. I don't believe for 1 second that you had no idea about The Real Housewives of Atlanta until you were contacted by a producer or casting. Don't believe it. I think that you and Simon proactively sought out being on the show. And didn't other people say that? Hasn't that already come out and been proven? I don't think that you were on Instagram stories. And by all luck by happenstance, they randomly saw your Instagram story about philanthropy and was like, this is the girl we need to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is the girl that needs to go up against Kenya and Portia and Nene and Phaedra and Sheree and everybody else. This is the girl. No. I don't believe it. I think you and Simon got together and you actively wanted to be on the show and you found a way in. I don't think you got discovered on your Instagram stories, Fallon. Just calling bullshit. Maybe you did. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Okay, so Andrea at 20 says, hence, when they did not give her a peach, Simon ghosted Fallon. Exactly. Linda R says, Fallon is a friend of Shamia. They didn't even talk about Shamia last night. She should have, like, if they were, wouldn't she have, like, brought her up? I guess. I don't know. Hey, Isiago, she goes, Simon was a super fan, and she said that. She's telling half truths and half lies. They chased them producers down. Exactly, S.A. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It sounds really beautiful. Isiago. I believe that's pronounced correctly. I hope I am. I think you're exactly right. She's telling half truths and half lies, and things are getting muddled. I think they both were fans of the show. They both wanted to come up, and they sought out the producers. You didn't get discovered on your Instagram stories. I just don't believe it. Hey, Epe News. She goes, yes, I remember her ROA scouting story. They attempted to recruit her several times, she said. Yeah, but that's what she said. How do we know that she's been caught in provable lies, right? I don't know. It sounds a lot better to say, I was doing philanthropic Instagram stories and Bravo was just chasing me down over and over and over again to be on the show. Then it sounds to say, me and my husband wanted to come up for money and fame, and we did everything in our power to get on the show. Which story sounds better from a reputation standpoint, right? Hell yeah, I'm going to be like, they wanted me. I was just on YouTube, just telling lovely stories, and Bravo and NBC discovered my YouTube. Hey, let's put that into existence, right? Like that is a great story. But just in this particular context, with everything we know about Simon, with everything we know about Fallon, it doesn't seem believable. And also, didn't Fallon say that I forgot what else she said, but we'll get into it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Picking the Brain says the magazine article, who saw it? I didn't see any magazine article. And again, you can buy that stuff. Hey, Sumaya is saying, she goes, wait, but you were friends with Portia and Dennis. Exactly. So her origin story keeps changing. She said she was friends with Portia and Dennis, and that's how she got connected to the show. Then she said the first time she ever met Portia was at the pool party. Now she's saying that she was on Instagram stories and that Bravo stumbled upon her on Instagram stories. Make it make sense. Can I get a witness? Says, wow, the thirst is real. Sasha T says they all need to just drop it. She could easily get brand deals, modeling contracts, etc. Let Portia deal with that man. Girl, I agree with you 1,000%. And that is why I think that her and the Jalen story is a front, and also why I think that she is in on it with Simon. She wanted to go off into the night. She wanted to go off and model and act and be with the celebrity guy. But I think Simon said, I need you to come back and make some waves because the block is getting too hot with my fraudulent businesses. And because they have a mutually assured destruction, if he gets found out, she gets found out. So her doing this deflection and everything to help Simon is because she actually wants to help herself. Simon doing this fake coming after her with all of this stuff, performative art, all of these things, telling her to be careful because he doesn't know what Portia's going to say. He's protecting her in order to protect himself, because if Fallon gets found out, he gets found out. Mutually assured destruction, because they both came up with the scheme, and the scheme now has gotten bigger than what they anticipated. It took a left turn, and it's out of their control now. And the scheme has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, Wanda Johnson. Net worth does not equate to liquid cash, but I agree. She's not worth $2 million either way. Yeah, exactly. Hey, R, she's super pretty. Oh, Fallon is super pretty. She is beautiful. Hey, Abundantly Cindy goes, hey, R, yes. Michelle Williams says, exactly. Silma Wade says, remember to be respectful in the chat. Yes, everybody. Thank you, Mod. We have to be respectful. This is just for fun. It's a good kiki. This is just my opinion. We are all love and light in the candy shop. So come on to the candy shop if you just want to have a good kiki. Yay. Let's see. Hey, Essie says they have been saying she was originally an escort for Skymon too. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to put that on. In my hypothetical situation, if I heard this story about hypothetical people, my gut thought would be this was a contract understanding situation. Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Abundantly Cindy, Fallon is a gorgeous woman. She is. She really is. She's just as naive and impressionable as Portia is, though. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I do think she's really smart. I do think she's very, very beautiful. And I don't know. I just think that I think there is way more going on to this than what meets the eye. And I don't think that, I'm not saying this to vindicate Portia, because Portia isn't vindicated in a damn thing. Let's be very clear on that. I still think Portia is very, very dirty, because in Portia's mind, she thought she was getting this rich man, and she didn't care that he was married, and she didn't care that she was going to do that to his wife. So for that, Portia's not vindicated. But I do not think that Fallon was blindsided by all this, or she did not participate in a scheme. I don't think that. I still think she's gorgeous. I still think she's smart. I still think she's kind of cool. But I just don't believe her timeline, her contradicting stories. When you get caught in too many half-truths and mistruths and under-truths, it undermines your credibility in this particular lane, or in this particular topic in general, right? That's really all I'm saying. Let's see. Hi, Nia H. Goes, why didn't you say all of this on her first interview? Yeah. Hey, Sam Blank, Peter walked so Simon can run. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. Sasha T says Fallon is smarter than Portia. Exactly. Thank you, Lynette, my beautiful mod. Love, light, growth, and positivity. Exactly. That is what we are about here at the Candy Shop. Only about love and light and having a good kiki. And again, even though I have my conspiracy theories, this is nothing personal at all against Simon, Portia, or Fallon. I don't know these people. I'm just giving my opinion based on what they do publicly and on television. That's it. It's not personal at all. Truth be told, I would love to hang out with Fallon one day. I think she's kind of cool and fun, and we'd have a good kiki. But I still think she's in on a scheme. Portia, not my type of girl. I wouldn't want to hang out with her. Simon, no, obviously. So it's not personal. It's just fun, light, kiki, conspiracy theories, and opinions. So this is nothing personally against anybody. Hey, Jen Marie. She goes, I partially agree, Candy. Maybe a plan or agreement. I think revenge conquer for Fallon. We are women. When he diverted from the plan, she partially exposed him. He underestimated Fallon. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that there was an initial plan or scheme. And then that plan kind of took off with a mind of its own. And now it has gone left and it's bigger than what they planned it to be. Simon may have taken liberties and done things outside of the plan and he, whatever. But I do believe that there was a very intentional and original plan. Even if that plan was like just to get on to the housewives and to do X, Y, and Z, all that stuff. Yeah. But I do think that there was a very intentional plan. Let's see here. Yay, Pinky in the Brain says to subscribe. Exactly. Andrea says Fallon was sold a bill of goods by Simon and she quickly found out she is not built for Roa. I agree with that too. Jen Marie says he threw Fallon under the bus too much. Hey, Pinky in the Brain, she says, I love the show, Candy Cane. Yes. Hey, Andrea says Fallon trusted an old geezer and got burned. Yes, she did. Hey, Abundantly Cindy. She goes, I think Fallon is smart but makes bad choices. And men, I think she was in the scheme, but it blew up in her face. Yeah, I think it was a scheme, and now the scheme is just bigger than the two of them. Hey, Ruth. She says, for me, they all have something going on at the beginning, but I think it's going left now. Exactly. Hey, Sam Blank. He goes, Jalen gives me LA sugar baby vibes too. Sugar babies. Hey, Sasha T. She goes, I'm happy LaToya isn't coming back. She hated Fallon from the beginning. Yeah, well, I think Portia was putting a bug in Toya's ear, winding her up to go do her dirty work and be her mouthpiece against Fallon because she was sleeping with Simon the whole time. And she wanted that fake alleged money that he has. Let's see. Hey, Shrinking Sharon. Oh, shout out to Shrinking Sharon. She is also my mod. Thank you, Shrinking Sharon. She goes, thank you for joining the Candy Live today. Share, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. That is right. Thank you, Shrinking Sharon. Pinky in the Brain says it grew legs. It grew legs and wings. Hey, can I get a witness? Is laughing. We love you. Can I get a witness? Hey, Jen Marie. Simon is a future father, the type to run from. Yes, mad babies everywhere. Babies everywhere. Hey, Claudette McGregor. She goes, it's gossip, love, the mess. Exactly. Hey, Miss T. Fallon never met any of his family. Question mark. Another red flag, another sign of a scam. Scam. Hey, Young Rich. She goes, Portia was inside while LaToya and Fallon was having their street brawl. But I think Portia started it. Like everything that, like what LaToya was saying, where did she get the information from? Where did she get the perspective from? I think Portia was just using LaToya as her mouthpiece to do the dirty work, right? So, hey, Sasha T, the plan drank Red Bull. It gave it wings. It did. And now I think the plan is bigger. and has gone left than all of them. And if I was Fallon, girl, this is the PSA for you, Fallon. Focus on this celebrity guy that you have. If you're pregnant or not, focus on your celebrity guy. Date him, but also date other people. Because if he is unwilling to claim you publicly for any reason, he does not love you the way you deserve to be loved. Woman to woman, if a man is not willing to claim you publicly after a certain amount of time, and clearly they've been doing this for a while, or whatever the case may be, one or two things. Is he married? Is he has no intentions of committing to you? Like what? Like why? I'm not saying that you jump into relationships and you go super fast, and I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about healthy relationships, okay? Healthy relationships. At a point in the relationship where it should be natural and healthy for you to be public with each other, why are you not public? So sure, date the boo thing, date the celebrity, but date other people because you're a beautiful girl. And looks aside, I just don't mean beautiful by looks. I just mean all women, all men, all people deserve to have healthy, public, vibrant relationships. So Fallon, if I were you, wash your hands of this Simon and Portia BS. Focus on your skincare line, focus on your acting, focus on public speaking, and start dating. Have fun, enjoy yourself. You paid your dues with Simon. Your contract is up with Simon. Put it in the past. Don't do another like you did last time after Up and Adam being like, this is it and I'm out, only to come back now and you're doing Fox Soul and Tisa Tells and everybody else in the world, right? Let this be it with that. Because the more you talk, the more you're exposing that you were in on this. The more you talk, the more you're digging your own grave. If you would have left this at Up and Adam, girl, you would have been like, I was drinking the Kool-Aid for a little bit. I only had a bit of a conspiracy theory because that's how my mind works. But the more you talk, the more you are exposing the fraudulent activities. What you said last night with Tisa Tells, girl, I have 2 full pages of notes of the lies, of the inconsistencies. Fallon, girl, you paid your dues. Your contract is up. Get out. Go live your life. Be happy. Enjoy your children. Get your career popping. Get the skincare online. Get the skincare on the shelves. And continue to shine and live your best life. Because to be perfectly honest, as much as I get on here talking about this conspiracy theory, I don't really care that you were in on the conspiracy theory. So when I say that, I don't say it in a way to bash you. I'm talking to her like she's listening to this. I'm not saying that as a way to bash you. I'm just saying what it looks like. I think you focus on your children, your career, your money, and finding a decent man who really loves you for you and getting a really happy and healthy relationship, and wash your hands of Simon and Portia. You don't owe Simon anything, okay? We all know this didn't organically happen, and that's okay. Stop doing interviews about this. The more you talk, the more it is looking bad for you. And I don't want that for you. Let Simon and Portia burn down their own house now. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. In the Peeking the Brain says she's learning how to make money from everyone's opinion about the skin line. Okay, Sunshine teases at this point, Fallon needs to just chill. Girl, just focus on your businesses and your family, and that you've done enough. But the more you talk, Fallon, the crazier you're starting to look a part of this. Because everything you said last night in Tisa Tells exposed you. You got Jalen's mom out here calling into Kempire Daily and calling into other people talking about my son isn't gay and all of this stuff. Like, it's gone too far. Like, it's gone too far. rail it in. Okay. Andrea says, good advice, Candy. Yes. Hey, Brenda. She goes, hello, my Candy Canes family. Hope you all are well. Let's hit that like and subscribe button for our Candy girl. Yes. Thank you, Brenda. Picking the brain says, Candy, who saw the magazine with Simon that he cut her out of? Nobody, because I don't think it exists. What magazine? Exactly. Hey, Essie. She goes, she definitely paid her dues. Simon's not attractive and she was a nanny too. Shake my head. Actually, he may owe her a little bit. Yeah, he might have an outstanding nanny bill because it was a contract between the two of them. It was a contract. She said it was a job. She wasn't lying. It was a job. Sam Blank says, answering questions like jogger, spring, summer, fall. Spring, summer, fall. Exactly. Hey, Lynette, let's get those likes up. That's right. Let's get the likes up. Smash that like button. Yes. Hey, Abundantly Sunday, she was Fallon maybe listening. She knew about Tisa and Claudia Jordan watching too. They watch these vlogs. That is true. That is very true. Fallon, if you are listening, girl, you've paid your dues. The contract is up. Get out. Get out and don't do another interview about this. Don't do a sing. Don't come on the candy shop. Don't go anywhere. Don't go like, girl, I'm telling you, because the more Simon and you keep talking, the worse and worse it's looking. Okay, let's see. Abundantly Cindy says Fallon may be listening. Okay, yeah, that's right. So Andrea says, and Fallon needs to post an updated pic of her belly to stop all this pregnancy talk. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Young Rich, the reason she's not saying who the celebrity is because he's married. Girl, I hope that's not true. I hope that is not true. Hey, Alf MC. Yes, she acts as though she owes Simon some sort of strange loyalty. Mutually assured destruction because they came up with the scheme themselves. They don't want Simon gets exposed, she gets exposed. She gets exposed, Simon gets exposed. That's where the loyalty is. I don't think she really cares about Simon. She just doesn't want to go down with him. Hey, Akilo Chic. How do you have bad credit when you worth $2 million? I would just pay to get my credit fixed. East 32nd. LOL. Hey, Leah. She goes, I went to school in the town. Simon claims to come from in Nigeria, and he this rich and never takes his wife home. I will see if he will take Portia to Nigeria like David Asefo took Tamar, or David Adisfaso took Tamar to visit. Yeah, but I mean, Fallon said she's never even been to Nigeria, and she's never even met his family like that. So who knows? Hey, Essie. She goes, at Leah, do you know if he was deported? Ooh, spill all the tea, Leah. Spill it all. Pinky in the Brain ×3 says that's why that was her last interview, allegedly. She shouldn't have done it in general. Because she spilled too much tea last night. And Tisa, shout out to Tisa Tail, did a really great job because Tisa, I like Tisa's interview style. She builds a really good rapport with the person. And she also does something that she said she does, which I really like what she does. She will ask you a question that she already knows the answer to in order to gauge how honest you're being. And you could tell she did it too, especially when she asked the question about if Simon and Fallon, when they went on their Costa Rica trip, whether or not they owned the property, and then whether or not that was the same Costa Rican property that Simon was putting on Instagram now with Portia and Stunning now with all that stuff. And that's when she caught Fallon in that lie. And you could see on Tisa's face, she was like, oh, really? It wasn't? And you know how Tisa is? She was just like, I gotcha, bitch, I gotcha. So yeah, shout out to Tisa. You did a really great job. And again, the link to her interview is in my description box because, of course, I want to support other YouTubers and content creators. And yeah, so I just want to support everybody. Okay. Hey, Kamiko. Hey, beauty. She goes, I agree with Candy. This was a contract. She said it herself. And the way she said it, it was said subconsciously. So she said it from her truth space. And she said it was a job and I didn't like it. Or something like that. She said it was a job. Yeah, she said that's what she said. She said it was a job and I didn't like it. That's exactly what she said, referring to her marriage and pretending to be his wife. It was a contract. The contract's up. Point blank period. It was a contract. Let's see. Pinky in the Brain says, yes, Tisa did a great job. She did. Shout out to Tisa. You did a great job, girl. On Herpreneur Life with Ebony Yvonne says, yes, Tisa did a great job. She did. Abundantly Cindy says she's going to do her reveal like Cardi and Danny Lee did theirs. LOL. Yeah, with the babies. Yes. Miss T says Tisa could read Fallon and solve through the lies. Yeah, Tisa already knew. Tisa, girl, she knows. Seelma said Simon isn't close to his family, and that's a big red flag to me. Same. Big red flag. Renee said this is a whole mess. Oh, wait, let me see what Renee said. Renee said, this is a whole mess. Tisa was great. Love her. Agreed. Abundantly Cindy says, Tisa got down in the details. I was clutching my invisible pearls. Me too. Pinky in the Brain ×3 says closing her eyes whenever time Tisa asked a good question. Closing her eyes and like, she didn't want to be there. Andrea says Fallon needs to take to IG and YouTube about her new life without Simon. Mm-hmm. Can I get a witnesses? Really? No family blessings? Question mark. Joanne, hey, beautiful Joanne. She goes, why did Simon have the custody of his kids? Where were the mothers? Okay, so Fallon said that she was co-parenting with the mothers of the two children that she was looking after. And she was apparently with the two of the kids, because Simon has 5 kids, but I think he has 2 in his custody. 2 are older, and then I think the youngest daughter still lives with her mom, with the youngest daughter's mom. I think it's the 2 kids from his second marriage. The 2 boys, I believe, or it might be a boy and a girl, but I think it might be 2. I think it's 2 boys. Anyhow, Fallon said that she co-parents with the mother and that they do shared custody, like 1 week off and 1 week on. Hey, in your face. What was the lie about the Costa Rican property? Okay, so the lie about the Costa Rican property was, first, Fallon said that she did not, Simon and Fallon had gone to Costa Rica and they had posted all of these photos, and it was like this beautiful Costa Rican estate. And they were claiming that, well, Tisa asked them, did you own that? Like, was that your property? Did you own the property, or were you renting it or whatever? Fallon said, oh, no. We were going at the property and we were looking at it to see if we wanted to buy it. And then we were going to buy it and then rent it out and use it as like a rental property for ourselves. And then Tisa was just like, oh, well, is that the same property that Simon now has been showing on Instagram? Some Costa Rican property that he's allegedly looking at to buy. And Fallon was like, no, I haven't been to that property. I haven't been to it. And then Tisa was just like, wait, what? Really? Because my sources say it was the same property. And then on Instagram, it looked the same. It had like a hedge in the middle and a pool and this and this and this. So she kind of describes the property. And then Fallon is just like, oh yeah, that's it. That's right. I've been there. So at first she said she had never been to the Costa Rican property. Basically, she was saying it was 2 different properties. One that she went with Simon, and then one that Simon now was fronting on Instagram. But then after Tisa pressed her a bit, she flip-flopped and said, oh, no, I've been there. That was the same property. And then the other lie was saying that they were at the property to see if they wanted to buy it and then rent it out. But the property itself is not for sale. The property itself is already a rental property, meaning they rented out the property and then they were pretending that they were looking at it to buy as if they were high rollers and had all this money. But the property isn't actually for sale. The property itself is a rental property. So it doesn't make sense for them to say that they were looking at it to buy. That's like if I had an Airbnb for the weekend and I went on Instagram being like, hey, I'm just scoping out this really cool Malibu beachfront place to see if I want to buy it. But the reality is it's just an Airbnb that I rented out. You see what I'm saying? It's sort of like that. Like you're already in an Airbnb. It's not for sale. but then I'm pretending like I'm about to go buy this property. That was sort of like the lie, if that makes sense. Shrinking Sharon says, Fallon need to stop interviewing with anyone. I agree 100%. She really does. She really needs to stop. That is the truth. Let's see what's going on in this chat box. Okay. Hey, Aaliyah. She goes, the mothers of the kids must not have U.S. documentation, so he claims them. That means he has a U.S. visa. I guess. I don't know how immigration works. I mean, could be. I don't know how immigrations work. In your face has got it. Thanks. Sasha T says, like that video. That's right, you guys. Let's get those likes up, 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 up. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate it. Abundantly Cindy says, Fallon has 3 of her kids, plus 2 from the second wife. Yep. The kids all stay with Simon when he left 2 months. Yeah. Pinky the Brain says, it was so close in co-parenting. Why can't she see the kids? Simon had nothing to do with Simon had nothing to do with their relationship. No, I don't agree with that. I think when it comes to kids, whether or not it's fair, because I think that's 2 separate things, right? What you think would be fair and right would be like, of course, I had this woman in my children's life for 5+ years. They've grown attached to her, even though our relationship didn't work out. It would be great if like she could still see the kids and like the step siblings. You know, I'm sure they grow attached to each other too. The step siblings could still get along and get together and hang out and have fun. Yes, absolutely. In the perfect world. But at the end of the day, you have to respect what the parent says when it comes to their kids. So if Simon, even though it might not seem right, and I don't agree with it, I do think that they should be able to still see each other. It still breaks my heart thinking that these kids were attached to Simon as well, and to the other kids, and to Fallon. But at the end of the day, if the parent is saying, this person is no longer in my life, and I no longer want that person to see my kids, you have to honor that. Because that is what the parent is saying for their child. Whether or not it's the best thing, whether you could wish you could work it out, you have to respect what a parent says when it comes to who can be in the child's life. And I know that your question was saying because if she's so good at co-parenting with the wife. Well, it's the fact that Fallon was married to Simon. She wasn't married to Simon's ex-wife. So you see what I'm saying? And the ex-wife needs to stay on good terms with Simon. So if Simon is saying, I don't want Fallon around the kids, and then the ex-wife goes behind the back and does it, that could cause problems with their co-parenting situation. And at the end of the day, Simon is the father and his other ex-wife is the mother, and it is their relationship that needs to stay on good copacetic terms for the children. Hey, Tisa tells. Hey, Tisa, she's in here. Tisa tells us, however, we see why Portia is claiming her relationship with Simon's youngest daughter because there is beef with Fallon and the mom. Portia and Simon are being weirdly petty. Hey, Tisa. Hey. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Hey, beautiful Tisa. That is very true. That is very, very true. And that's why I also think that the point you made last night with Simon and what's her name? Simon and Portia being very vindictive people. I agree with that 100%. I also think, again, based on what Fallon said last night, when she said Simon called her and her family and what do you call it? Her friends being like, don't say anything. You better not say anything because I don't know what Portia is going to do or say. And given with how I think Portia is, although I do believe Simon is a narcissist, in my opinion, allegedly, I also think that a lot of the smear campaign against Fallon is also rooted in Portia's insecurity and jealousy when it comes to another beautiful woman. So I think that a lot of the smear campaign against Fallon, I would not be surprised if Portia was actually at the root cause of that. I'm going to tell you why. Not to get too much into like childhood trauma, but Portia has spoken about this publicly, so I'm not saying any information she hasn't talked about. But Portia's father left her and her mom, Miss Diane, for what's her sister's name? Lauren. For Lauren's mom, and then had his whole second family and had Lauren, and sort of really doubted on Lauren and really poured into Lauren and paid more attention to this new separate family, and sort of left Miss Diane and Portia behind. And Portia used to be like daddy's girl and the daddy's favorite and all that stuff. And then tragically, her father passed away. And that was actually the reason why Portia and Lauren even became close, was because the father died. It wasn't like the father was in Portia's life, Lauren's life, and they just had this blended family. No. I think that deeply scarred Portia. I think that's why Portia, because again, I don't think Portia is an actual narcissist. I think she has narcissistic tendencies. And I think that's why, so I do think Portia loves her sister, but I think that's why Portia also treats Lauren like the help. I think that is her way of sort of saying, I don't know how to say this right. Like in her mind, she thinks that Lauren is beneath her and Lauren is the help. And that is, in her way, vindicates her from feeling as a child that Lauren was the chosen daughter and she wasn't the chosen daughter. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Quinn's mom. She goes, hey, Candy, came in late, but I enjoy your channel, beautiful queen. Yes, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you, Quinn's mom. So I think that based on her childhood trauma of her first love, her father, abandoning her and her mother to recreate a family, in her mind, she must have felt not worthy and not good enough. And I think, as you see in the pattern of Portia's life with her friendships, with her relationships, she has been chasing some form of validation and some form of worthiness and being good enough. So I really think that Portia got delight in thinking that this rich African man chose her over this beautiful woman. And I think that a lot of the smears against Fallon, I would not be surprised if Portia was actually the one at the helm. And I also think that Portia is still in love with Dennis, and she hasn't healed from that. You know, Dennis had moved on. Dennis cheated on her when she was pregnant. Dennis was cheating essentially the whole time. He was out here at like the Piggly Wiggly or whatever the hell it was on Instagram with like 3 different girls at 4 o'clock in the morning and all of this stuff. And then he had the weird, I don't even want to say it, but like the bestiality stuff that came out or whatever that was. And that was a big embarrassment thing. He was promising to marry her, never did. When she was pregnant, he still wanted 2 separate homes and 2 separate everything. Didn't want to come to be a unit. So I think Portia has been chasing for someone to choose her because she felt that her father didn't. And she felt that her father didn't choose her, and he chose another woman, another child, another family over her. And I think she's been chasing being chosen. And she hasn't really worked on herself. She looks at everybody else as the problem. Cordell's the problem. Todd was the problem. That other guy she was with was the problem. You know, Simon's coming out with this stuff. Dennis is the problem. But you have to look in the mirror, Portia. You are the problem. You are the one who's attracting and choosing these experiences that you have in your life. And I think that is why Simon was just like, I don't know what Portia will say or do. And that is why I think that it was like the fake smear campaign against Fallon. Just so deeply rooted in Portia's own childhood wounding of abandonment. That's the word I'm looking for. I feel like she has a very deep rooted abandonment issue in her. And she's been chasing being chosen. And I think that's a big part of it. So again, I agree with what Tisa said, what Tisa said in that comment that she did, how it's weirdly petty and weirdly vindictive that now all of a sudden oh, he's cool with the youngest daughter and she's posting the bikini pics and the bathing suit pics and all that stuff as a straight dig to Fallon and the other woman. And that also explains why she was so nasty towards Fallon. Because I think if you are a fully formed, healthy individual person, and let's just give benefit of the doubt, and she really, really did happen to fall in love with this man who happened to be in a really bad marriage, the last thing that I'm going to do is try to smear the other woman. What I'm going to say is, I'm so sorry. I know this is really crazy. I know I must have really hurt you, but like I fell in love with I fell in love with who I fell in love with. We're in love and we're really happy, and I'm so sorry that this happened. That's what a healed, healthy person does. You know, we're all human beings. We all fall in love sometimes under the not happiest or the most moral circumstances, right? Let's not pretend we all haven't had a little skeleton dirt in our closets. We all do. You can be a human being. You can find yourself in a situation that might be morally questionable, but it's your reaction to that situation that is telling of who you are. And I think Portia's reaction to the situation told us everything about who she is. And that to me is really scary. And that is why I'm saying to you, Fallon girl, close your mouth. Go get those acting jobs. Go get that PR job or public speaking job, whatever it was that you wanted to do. If the celebrity person allegedly is married, kick his ass to the curb, find a man who is single and available for you, and live happily ever after and get your skincare line off the ground. You paid your dues. The contract is up. Get out while you still can, because this is a sinking ship. It's already sank, but I think it's going down even further than the Titanic. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Entrepreneur Her Life with Ebony Yvonne goes, Candy, you just gave Fallon and Portia free therapy sessions. I hope they take your advice. Oh, I know. Portia, to you need to do some inner child healing. You really, really do, because you're blocking your own blessings, Portia. Like, as much as I like say things, at the end of the day, Portia, you are a beautiful woman. You have an amazing platform. You are talented. You're funny. Like, people do think you're funny and entertaining and Dis Nation and all this, that, and the third. You could be so much bigger and better than what you already are at. But the fact that you haven't healed these wounds, you keep bleeding into your own future. And that's why you're self-sabotaging. Because if you think about it, Bravo and everybody else was really teeing you up to really blow up. And this whole Simon scheme has set you back, not forward. I don't know what reality you're living in, but this scheme sets you back. Your reputation is forever tarnished. People are out here digging up all types of dirt and clowning you for this. You are on the cusp of a very big come up. Sure, you still have chat room, but what was her name? Is it Kate Chastain came out and just read you for filth, sweetheart. And the chat room isn't really doing that great. Sure, you have Dis Nation, but you know what I'm saying? Even Claudia was just like, well, it comes on like it's not syndicated or something, whatever Claudia said about it, right? I don't know. And now this whole Pursuit of Portia spinoff, but people are clowning you for Black Lives Matter now, this whole book, but like, who's going to read this book? You could have been set up for such a bigger come up, but this whole Simon situation is a stain on you. It's a stain. And you're self-sabotaging for whatever reason. I would get a really good therapist, not the couples therapist that Simon and Fallon had, but a different one, and a really good one, and really healed your childhood wounds. Really do some inner child healing work, because you're going to continue to sabotage yourself over and over and over again. Being on TV doesn't mean you're successful. Having some money in the bank doesn't mean that you're happy, because a truly internally healthy, happy person is not moving this way. They're not. You would have seen through Simon, and you wouldn't have been thirsty for this come up. You would have had more integrity and self-respect than to claim to be engaged to another woman's whole husband after kikiing with her as her BFF on TV and on Instagram and in her pool and all over the world. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Sam Blank. She goes, Kenya won't say anything until they're filming. True, because Kenya knows the assignment, and Kenya's like, this is a job. I'm not messing with you off season. I haven't got time for that. She doesn't have the time. Sam Black says her story arc was actually going somewhere. Yes. Hey, Tisa. Tisa tells us, agreed about Portia. I sent you Cash App. I'm overseas and can't super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Tisa. That is so sweet. Mm-hmm. And great job last night. You killed it, girl. You killed it. Keep writing stuff down and keep your goals and your eyes on the prize and keep manifesting bigger and bigger and bigger things. I'm telling you. Hey, Teresa. She goes, she was being set up. She needs to get up and step back for a moment and take care of herself. Fallon or Portia? I say that's great advice for both of them. They both need to take a step back and chill. Because this is another thing. Even though I actually think the person with the most culpability, because I don't think any of three of them are innocent. I don't think that. But I think the person with the most culpability is Simon, right? He was the one who was actually married to Fallon. He was, you know what I mean? He was the one lying about his net worth and these fraudulent businesses, right? He was the one who really sold Portia this pipe dream that she just fell all head over heels into, right? So I really think that the person who is most culpable is Simon. With that being said, unfortunately, if we are being realistic about the world and the society that we live in a very sexist, male-dominated society. So even though Simon is the one who is the grimiest, most culpable person in this situation, the two people who will be blamed and the two people who it will affect the most will always be the woman. Always. Because we live in a sexist society. It's getting better. We're making strides. Me Too era, cancel culture, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, women equals rights and equalities, feminist, sure. Yeah, we're getting better. But the current reality, we hold men to a lesser standard than we hold other women. We will talk more poorly about Fallon and Portia than we will about Simon. And that's another big reason why, another big shout out to Tisa. Tisa really went after Simon and his allegedly fraudulent businesses and activities and everything else. She really exposed him. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, people really have been pitting. It's really been about Portia and Fallon and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And only very, very, very recently has the mainstream picked up on this whole, well, let's take a look at Simon. And again, the only way that people are actually looking at Simon is only when it comes to what in our male-dominated society, when it comes to his money and his businesses, right? His wealth. That's what he's being judged on. But has anyone talked about Simon's morality or moral culpability in the situation? We want to call Portia a gold digger. We want to call Portia a pass around. We want to call, and when I say we, myself is included, I'm not being judged. I'm not being judgy or critical, and I'm not any of that. When I say we, I am including myself in that because I called her a pass around yesterday on Kempire Daily. So when I say we, I'm including myself. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm 100% talking about myself too. I'm being honest and real. So we call Portia the pass around, the gold digger, the home wrecker, all of that stuff, right? We call Fallon, the cheating wife, that's what you get for letting other women in your bedroom. Again, she said they didn't have an open marriage, but that was the whole rumors going around. Well, that's what you get for having a third. That's what you get for having other women. Oh, she must be cheating. She must be that. Or she must have been so dumb, she didn't see it coming. That's what you get for having female friends come into your house. That's what you get. That's what you get, right? When it comes to morality, and integrity and talking about the characteristics of the person, the only people we have gone after has been Fallon and Portia. The only thing we're talking about with Simon has been about machismo, money, wealth, real estate, his businesses. We haven't talked about his morality and what he did to his wife and what he did. I mean, Portia signed up for it, but he sold her. It was all a dream. He sold her a pipe dream. And that is deception. I mean, she fell for it, but on some level, it's also manipulation. But we're not talking about Simon's morality factor. But that's the society we live in. And so we have to always, and myself included, I'm holding my own hand up on this, we have to also check what our own biases are and where our own shortcomings are when it comes to accountability, when it comes to that. Because I'm going to be honest, when it came out, the person I was the most disgusted with was Portia. I knew I was also very disgusted with Simon, but on that visceral level, as a woman, I was like, how dare this woman do this to this other woman, right? How dare she do this to another woman? Girl code, women stick together. But what I should have thought was, how dare this husband do this to his wife? So we have to check our own default systems. That is what I think my gut should have said. How dare this husband do this to his wife? But my thought was, how dare this woman do this to this other woman? And then, media and everybody else, not me. I'm not putting myself in this portion of it because I didn't believe this or think this. But then the media and everybody else was just like, well, what did this woman do to deserve this? And that's where everyone was just like, well, she must have been cheating. She must have let other people in their bed. She was stupid. How I don't let other women in my house. So somehow she must have done something to deserve being cheated on and so publicly humiliated that you are still married to a man and he is on Instagram engaged to a woman who was claiming you as a friend. The media goes, she must have done something to deserve this. And those are the bigger questions. Like, yes, this is reality TV, it's good kiki, but those are the bigger questions we have to start thinking about as a society. What are our defaults? What are our own biases? Thank you so much, ADM Paul. He goes, as a gay man with 5 sisters, the fact that women are being targeted and no blame or accountability lands on a man is despicable. Thank you, ADM Paul. Exactly. Like the narratives really have been, and it goes back to that, what is it called? What's that, where it's like women are put in 2 boxes, right? You're either the virginal Madonna or you're the hoe, whore, slut or whatever. It's like women can't be multifaceted. It's like you can't make a hoe into a housewife mentality. You know what I mean? It's like women are either these like damsels in distress and we have no agency and we're just, these little victims and we're just so virginal and demure. Or we are put into this other box of being these like sexual prowess and we're just loose and blah, blah, we have no morals and we're hoes and whores and sluts and all of these things, right? I forgot what it's called. It's like the Madonna versus something complex, something like that. But it doesn't allow for women to be fully formed, dynamic, multidimensional, multifaceted creatures and human beings, which we are. We're not all of anything and we're not all of nothing. We have shades and dimensions and layers of all of it. But society wants to keep us in 2 very neat boxes, right? Oh, it's the girl you bring home to mom or the girl you don't. You know what I mean? So we as a society have to start checking those biases, myself included. I have to check my own biases and my own stereotypical thinking and default thinking and really start doing more critical thinking. Why did I just go straight to the woman? Why did I subconsciously give the man, even though he discussed me, but subconsciously gave him a pass? And that's kind of what happens, right? You kind of think about homewrecker woman, or were you not satisfying your man or not? Think about it, right? If you hear about a woman being cheated on, even in like TV shows, oh, well, I let myself go. I gained a few pounds. We popped out some kids. Like, of course he's straight. I wasn't given BJs and blah, 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 blah. It's always, what did you do to deserve this happening to you? That's what you guys are saying in the chat box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Get those likes up. Mwah. At 80M, Paul says Madonna or Jezebel. Thank you. Yes, that is it. That's the dichotomy. You either are a Madonna or a Jezebel. Jezebel, Delilah spirit. You're either Madonna or a Jezebel. You can't be a human. Okay, hey, Andrea, she goes, the moral questions we have to focus on as a people. Exactly. ADM Paul said, I just sent it. Yes, Sam Block says, but they want a lady in the streets and the exactly. Yes, Sam Block, they want a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. Exactly. Yes. See what you guys are saying in the chat box. I'm going to go up a little bit. Hey, 2B Black Native. She goes, Fallon needs help also, but appears more secure in who she is as a woman. Yeah, I agree. I do think Fallon seems more secure in who she is as a woman. But I also think, oh, hey, Happy News. She goes, Candy, you're amazing. You're a gift. You're amazing and you're a gift. I love you. Mwah. I love you, sweetheart. So wait. Oh yeah, so to be native. Yes, I think but again, the reason why I think she has been able to be so calm and demure and secure is because she was in on it from the jump. I highly, highly doubt, just given the way given the episode with the Halloween episode with what happened with Toya and the golf club and how she was just like, oh no, you're not. And she was running around and she's lucky she didn't clock her. That type of response. I think that if Fallon had really 1,000% been blindsided by all of this, had really loved Simon and thought that they were going to couples therapy and was working on their relationship, and all of a sudden this coworker friend swoops in and takes him away, girl, I think that she would have been trying to get Portia with the golf club too. I don't think that Up and Adam interview would have went that way either. You see what I'm saying? I think she's able to have this level of demure and maturity and presentness because she was in on the joke. And it didn't blindside her. And she doesn't give a damn about Simon or Portia. If you go back and watch the Tisha Tells interview, she lights up when she is talking about that celebrity guy. Like, she lights up. I think she's in love with him, or at least bare minimum lust with that person. That is who she is emotionally invested in. And so that's why I think she's able to come up here and be like, oh, I'm happy if Simon's happy and blah, 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 because she was in on it. And another thing, now that we're talking about it, good comment, 2B. Now that we're talking about it, another thing, even if, and this to me just goes to human nature, right? Even if you are over your ex, like say you're Fallon and you've been trying to work this out, whatever, blah, 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 blah. The marriage is over. It's not going anywhere, just figuring out how to separate or whatever the deal is. Let's just say, give that the benefit of the doubt. Even if that happens, a whole nother woman who is your coworker / friend / faux friend / whatever, who's been in your house, who's taken your clothes, who's been on Instagram, who's been around your children, all of these things, right? This whole other woman still jumps in and takes your place. Or, you know what I mean? Just jumps in like that. And then tries to call you, oh, you were never a friend. Oh, you were cheating. You were this and that. Even if you're not in love with that man, as evolved as we want to be, your ego is going to jump in and you're going to be like, be what? Whether you're into that man or not. Because now the problem really is with her. I mean, I would. If I was in a marriage and I knew that the marriage was over, but we weren't divorced, it wasn't public, and I had this coworker friend who had been in my home, who was sharing clothes and doing drinks and kicking in my face, and she doesn't know I'm getting divorced. She doesn't know any of this stuff. The only thing she knows is the front I've been putting on, that we're happy, we're together, we're da-da-da-da-da. And then the next day, she's on Instagram engaged to my husband. You don't think I'm going to have something to say about that, regardless if I'm into him or not. Come on. Come on. We can be as evolved. I think I'm a pretty evolved, calm person, but I'm also a human being, and I can read humanity in general. But I don't care I don't care how evolved you are. You are going to feel some type of way about that. Even like an ex that you don't even like anymore, and you see that he's moved on Instagram, you still kind of get a little, you know what I mean? You don't want him, but it's still, you still don't. It's still weird to see him with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just human nature. It's just how we're wired. So I just don't. And given the way Fallon reacted with just Toya talking smack, I don't think that she would have had this calm, holier than thou reaction to Portia, being like, it's not my place to say if Portia and Simon is right or wrong. Actually, the only person's place is yours. It's not my place. I don't know you. You're the one who's still legally married to the man. So the only person whose place to have a judgment or an opinion is you. I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Okay. Hey, Foxy Counselor. He goes, Simon was going on the girls' trip with his wife, who was filming on a reality show, spoke volumes. Agreed. He was attempting to control Fallon and Portia with his presence, and I believe Fallon really was clueless. I know. Hey, Lady Linda Bird. She goes, exactly. Hey, Angela Gardner. She goes, I would think Fallon had more to gain from being a cast member of Roa than what is going on with Simon and Portia's arrangement or entanglement. Yeah. But I think Fallon got what she wanted. You know, she's got the notoriety. Hey, Jay, lovely eyes. Why didn't Fallon film more episodes? Well, they were saying that Portia put the kibosh on that too. That Portia was the one who didn't want Fallon to come back. Hey, Abundantly Cindy, true, I agree. Fallon has some fire in her. You could see the smirks in her interview last night. Yeah. She was throwing that like very subtle shade. That very subtle, okay. And I'm not going to lie. I do that too, which is why when she was doing it, I was just like, we see each other, Fallon. Like, that's how I would be if I was in a situation that I didn't want to be in, but I had to like appear to be okay. It's sort of that like, yeah, oh, really? Yeah. Hey, Tisa tells. Let's see what Tisa said. Tisa says, well, Toya called her racial slurs and she had time to decompress and disconnect. That is true. That is a very fair assessment. That racial slurs is one thing, if not of a couple of things that will get a person out of their character very, very quickly. And she did have time to decompress and answer and everything else. But I still just on a gut level, she's thrown shade at Portia in this very light, slick way, which I do get and pick up on. But just on a gut level, I think that if she didn't have any prior knowledge to some type of scheme, I just don't think her response would be this polished. And she got caught in too many half-truths, untruths, kind of truths, up and down truths. And Tisa, shout out to you because you did a great job. I mean, you exposed more in that one interview than anything else combined. So shout out to you, girl. You did the damn thing. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Aaliyah. She goes, I believe Simon was holding things on Fallon's head since he got with Portia. That is why she has to be calm and shook can change people's behavior. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think it's like I think Simon has stuff on Fallon. I think Fallon has stuff on I think Fallon has stuff on Simon. And I think the stuff they have on each other, including also being a part of, again, I don't think that they meant for the scheme to go this direction or the scheme to go this way. I think they had an initial scheme of just, yo, let's get on the show. You get some fame, I get some money, we get some followers, you get some business, you get this, whatever, whatever the case may be. I think they did have a plan. I think the plan blew up. And the plan is now bigger than they anticipated. And the plan has gone left. And I think Portia's playing a much bigger part, and maybe an even unexpected part. Either they were going to go on the show to get divorced. That's a big thing people do. Or he was with Portia the whole time and they were going to go on the show and expose it. But some things happened the way they happened and it derailed. But I just do not buy that Fallon was 100% blindsided by this. I just don't buy it. Let's see. Hey, Tisa, she has moved on truly, or moved in truly. Yeah. I don't think she's checking for Simon like that. Hey, D at GA Lovely Eyes. When the cast asked her why she wasn't around more, she said she wanted to be with her husband. We know how that's funny because now he's filming a spinoff with Portia. Hey, Kimiko. She goes, I'm over my ex, but I would have an issue with one of my associates. Kimiko, girl, I am with you. I am the same exact way. I'm sorry. Once I'm with a guy in any capacity, he is off limits from my friends and associates. That's just how I feel. It might be petty. It might be childish. It might be uninvolved. I don't really care what you call it. It is just, I'm a very self-aware person. And I am self-aware enough to know that I will never be okay with me having been with a man and then the next day I'm caught out with okie doke and he is with a friend or a close associate or something like that. I know myself well enough to know I am with you, Kimiko. Even if I don't want him, I don't want you to have him. No sloppy seconds in my friend group. No. I'm just not here for it. Hey, ADM Paul, maybe Simon should have a peach. Him and Peter, they can fight over the peach. Hey, Young Rich, she goes, I'll only be mad at Portia if Portia runs and quits. Run and quit. Oh, Roa? Well, didn't she? She's asking for more money for Roa, I thought. And then she wanted to do her spinoff or something like that. Hey, FAH, they had a plan together and Simon had his own plan. Yeah, that's basically what I think. I think Simon and Fallon had their little plan. The plan got bigger. Simon did his own stuff. And now it's just mutually assured destruction. I'm going to make sure you don't get exposed, so I don't get exposed. And that's basically where it's at. There's no love lost there, I don't think. Hey, Abundantly Cindy, I think Fallon embellishes some things to keep us thrown off the truth. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she embellishes. She keeps things back. She gives half-truths, kind of truths, a little bit of the truth, a little bit of a lie, roundabout, deflect, dodge. Because if you watch the interview, she really deflected saying anything about Portia. And I think that's because Simon made it very clear to her, Portia is a wild card. I don't know what she will say or do. I don't want her to do something that will expose us. Don't say anything about Portia. That's what I think is really going on. Let's see here. J Lovely Eyes goes at D. Yeah, but I don't believe it. I think something was brewing then. But at least Cindy says exactly. I don't think she was blindsided completely because he was gone for too much. She knows her husband. Yep. ADM Paul says she refused Roa. Miss T says a true friend would never entertain somebody that was with their friend beforehand. Exactly. If a friend did that to me, they could just miss the whole friendship. Just if the thought crosses your mind, cut the friendship cord, you know? It's gross. It's weird. It's bizarre. I'm not here for it. And I know myself. If I'm like, I'm okay, it's cool, run. Run. Let's see. ADM Paul says, I totally disagree. You're missing the T. What T? I'm missing the T. Hey, Aaliyah, for me as a woman, I can let go of a man that wants someone I know so easy, as life is not about a man or a woman. It's about peace. Right. But I'm saying that if I let go of a man over X and my friend is now sleeping with him, my peace will be letting them both go. Hey, Miss T. She goes, right now is Portia filming her show because they're on another vacation right now. Yeah, I think Portia is filming the spinoff show. She's filming the spinoff show, and I think Roa is pushed back productions, so they might still be in pre-production right now. Let's see. J Love says, D, exactly. She was talking about divorce then. Yup. Hey, Aaliyah. She goes, I like the way Fallon is taking things. That's how I will act as well. Don't speak it into existence. Don't say you will act like that. No. You'll have a great relationship. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, the contract could also be that he can say whatever he wants, i.e. the insinuation of cheating. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think the whole cheating insinuations and the fake receipts, I think that's all part of the plot. That's all part of the okie doke. You know what I mean? That's a part of the spin of it all. And that also could be a part of, and this goes back to what I was saying, I think that Portia is calling more of the shots behind the scenes than we think. That could also be Portia saying, whoa, what do you mean I'm not, America's sweetheart, and I can't come out and say that I'm engaged to a married man and have everybody be happy for me and cheer me on? What do you mean I can't say #loves wins and do whatever I want? I think the fact that Portia got so much backlash that she did not expect to get, I think Portia overplayed her hand. She did not expect to be held accountable for what she did. I think in Portia's mind, she thought, who the hell is Fallon? Who cares about Fallon? Whatever. I'm Portia. I can do whatever I want. So I think that she didn't think she was going to get the backlash that she did. And then that is why her and Simon were like, well, if we discredit Fallon, we can then vindicate Portia. So that's why I think all of the fake cheating and the fake receipts and the weird stuff came out. I think the thinking was, oh, wait a minute. People aren't just buying this hook, line, and sinker. People aren't just going with the flow with whatever Portia says. We discredit Fallon to vindicate Portia. And that was even seen the last weekend, right? All with the whole fake Jalen and Fallon story, which, I mean, allegedly, but I don't think anybody's really buying that they're together. But the first thing that came out was, we're vindication, blah, 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 blah. And they're dancing and trying to say that they're vindicated. I think that is the rationale. This fake cheating wife of a cheating wife, and there's a video, and you're with Jalen. The thought was, Portia's getting backlash. The best way to make one woman look good is to make another woman look bad, because it's comparison culture. Oh, well, Portia's vindicated. She's not doing, Fallon really was cheating. Oh, Portia's vindicated. Portia's not vindicated for shit. She knew exactly what she was doing. Well, what she thought she was doing. Let's put it that way. What she thought she was doing. But they want to put out this narrative. If we malign Fallon, we can get Portia's reputation back up. That's where I think all of that stuff came from. And that's why I think Simon said to her, don't say anything, because I don't know what Portia will do. Because at the end of the day, Portia is going to protect Portia. And she's already proven she's willing to lie at the drop of a dime in order to do so. So that's why I think Simon was just like, girl, what are you saying in this video? What are you saying in this interview? Don't say anything. I don't know what Portia will say or do. Who knows? ADM Paul says, open the lines. I have something to say. I can't open the lines though, because I'm not using StreamYard today, because StreamYard is acting up too much. ADM Paul says, love you, but be kind to Fallon. ADM Paul, I love you too. I'm not being kind to Fallon. I'm just giving my honest opinion on what is in the media and what is on television. So I'm not being kind to Fallon. I actually, even though I do think she was in on some type of scheme, I actually like Fallon. I think she's beautiful. I think she's cool. And I think that she's a human being. I think that human beings can be multifaceted. I think you can still have a good heart. I still think you can be a good person and still be in on a little scheme. People are, and it again goes back to what we were talking about earlier, this Madonna Jezebel. People are multifaceted. You can still be a good person and still be caught up in some bullshit scheme or wanting to get more followers or wanting to have a skincare line and have a contract with this guy. It does not, I am not saying anything bad against Fallon as a person. It's not personal. I'm just giving my opinion based on interviews and her being on TV and her being a celebrity and a public figure and a reality star. So it's not anything personal against Fallon herself. I want to be very, very clear about that. I don't think Fallon is a bad person. I don't think she's evil or mean, or I don't think she's bad or any of that stuff. I think she is a human being. And as human beings, we can be good people and still get in some messy shit. That's just called life. It's just called life. I think the majority of people at their core are good, but we're also humans and we're not meant to be perfect. And we're not meant to be, unassailable, You can be a good person and still get in some messy shit. I'm a good person, and I promise you, I've been in some messy shit and I will be in some messy shit because I'm a human being. And we all will, if we're all being honest about life. We can be good people with good hearts and good spirits and still get in some shit. It's literally just called life. And so that is what I'm saying. So ADM, Paul, please do not take this as me going against Fallon or me not being kind to her or me coming at her, because I promise you that is not the case at all. I actually think she's pretty cool, and she seems like a girl that I would be friends with and that we would be kikiing, and I'd be like, girl, you got yourself some shit. Like, I hope you got the contract in writing. I hope you got that shit notarized. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep or serious. The reason why I said that I like Fallon. I think she's probably like a cool person versus what I said about Portia. Again, it's not personal. It's not a personal anything like that. But the reason why I wouldn't be friends with someone like Portia is because I don't trust her to not do what she did to Fallon. I don't trust her not to want to like steal my man or not to tell my secrets on Mad Day, or, not to, if I cross her, if I say something she doesn't like or do something she doesn't like, I don't trust her not to make up a life-altering lie or rumor about me just to hurt me because I'm doing something she doesn't like. And those are the characteristics of Portia where I'm saying, like, in reality of the situation, she's not a person I would want to be friends with because I don't trust her. Fallon, I would totally be friends with Fallon. I think she's a cool girl. But I'm also going to be honest and be like, do I think you were blindsided by this? No. Do I think that makes you a bad person? No. I think again, when it comes to our own biases and thoughts, and we have to remember that nobody, not reality stars, not actors, not musicians, not our mother, not our no person is all one thing. And no one is above scrutiny in a sense. I'm not saying judging or criticism or doing all that, but like everyone can be scrutinized. And just because you sometimes lie or tell half-truths or you're in on some shitty scheme doesn't mean you're not a good person, and it doesn't mean you don't have a good spirit or soul. It just literally means you're a human being, and it's called life. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Aaliyah says above me. Okay. Hey, Devon Jackson goes, hello, my beautiful sister Candy. Hello, beautiful Devon. Just me swirl 369 says, I don't believe 90% of what she said. Yeah. ADM Paul says, I love you, but I feel as Fallon, I've been in her situation. That's all. Aw, well, I love you too. I love you too. FH says, Fallon helped her husband get on the show, and he had a plot the whole time to get with Portia. Yeah. Hey, Devon Jackson, I totally agree. Portia appears not to have any loyalty. Yeah. It's been like seasons of this, and I would just be scared around her. I would be scared. I couldn't trust her. Hey, Abundantly Cindy, I miss T. Yes, because Simon likes to flaunt and floss his wealth. Hey, beautiful Kamiko, I agree with that too, D. It's just that the optics of situationship. Portia will hopefully explain her position. Maybe we could understand. Yeah, we have to see. We have to see what the situation is, but not looking good. Jessamy Swirl 369 says Simon was out the door with or without Portia being there. Yeah. Aaliyah says above mistake. Miss T says don't forget to subscribe and hit that like. Yes, you guys hit that like. ADM Paul says Candy, I agree. Love you, X. I love you too, sweetheart. Mwah. Sausage T says love you all. Yes. Devon Jackson says Portia seemed to have a change after her ex-husband probably humiliated her. D says, do you see all the Portia tattoos? Every time I see her share another one. Young Rich says, speaking of cheaters, are you going to drag Martell and Letitia? Yes, I'm going to wait now for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm going to wait until the second episode and then just do a recap because we've gone on. But you guys, we have been on here for 2.5 hours, kikiing up. So I'm going to let you guys go. But I just want to say shout out to Tisa Tales. Yes, girl, you did the damn thing last night. Remember, a link to that interview is in the description box, along with a link to the Kempire Daily interview as well that he did, where Jalen's mom called in, and it also includes my commentary as well. So be sure to hit that to check that out. But on your way out, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and support. And I love you guys so much. Shout out to my mods. I have mods. I know I'm so cheesy. But shout out to all my mods, to Miss T, to Sasha T, to Shrinking Sharon, to Silma Wade, to Lynette Kitten Scott, to all of my mods. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for holding it down. To Young Rich, to D, to ADM Paul, to Appy News, to 2B Black Native, to everyone who came into the chat box today and just having a good kiki. Love you guys. I love you, candy cans, and we will be back. What is tomorrow? Oh, I'm not sure I'll be back tomorrow. So hit that notification bell to see. I have something to do in the afternoon, but we will be back. We'll be back in the candy shop. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Until next time, be well. Take care of yourself and each other. I love you guys. See you next time. Bye.